Even though it is possible to install OuterImpact components yourself, we do recommend using a certified gunsmith. Hello again. Today we are going to cover the installation of the OuterImpact modular red dot adapter on the Sauer P320 M17. These installation steps are also the same for the M18, X5 Legion, X Compact, and the X Carry, but this adapter is only compatible if the X Carry has a loaded chamber indicator. The OuterImpact micro red dot adapter is also installed exactly the same way for those specific weapons. To complete this install, we will need the OuterImpact modular red dot adapter. We will also need the OuterImpact provided screws, a 3/32 hex bit with an extended shank, a flat end punch around 1/8 inch, and a torque driver set to 15 inch-pounds. We also suggest using blue Loctite on the screws. We will start by removing the magazine. Go ahead and lock the slide to the rear, checking the chamber to make sure it is clear. And lower the takedown lever. Let's go ahead and remove the slide from the frame. And we can place the frame to the side for a bit. For these installation videos, I like to remove the recoil spring and barrel, but it is not always necessary. It does make this installation a little easier though, so let's remove the spring and then the barrel. These are the screws we will need to remove, but we need to get to them first. There are a couple of objects in the way. We need to pay particular attention to a few features of the gun. First is the loaded chamber indicator. It has a spring mechanism and the spring is quite small, so we do not want the indicator to come out of its current location. Next, we have the firing group retainer plate, the extractor retaining pin and spring, and lastly, the extractor itself. The first step we will take is to press the extractor retaining pin with the flat end punch. While you are pressing down on the pin, you are also able to depress the firing group retainer plate and slide it down. Gently lessen the pressure on the pin and it should stay in place while you slide the retaining plate down and off the weapon. Next, we can pull the pin out of the slide and then remove the extractor itself. Now we will focus on the two screws we need to remove so we can take off the factory installed sight plate. Grab the 3/32 hex bit and loosen them. These screws can be tricky, and you may need to wiggle them around a bit to get them out. We will not be using these screws to reinstall the OuterImpact adapter, so they can be placed to the side. Once the screws are removed, we need to keep pressure on the plate so the loaded chamber indicator stays in place. Lift the Sig Sauer plate off the slide while keeping a finger on the loaded chamber indicator. There is a very small spring between the slide and the indicator that can easily pop out. With the factory plate off the slide, you can now place the OuterImpact modular red dot adapter in its place. The logo will be to the rear of the slide, and there is a loaded chamber indicator slot that will give the indicator space and will fit into the slide itself. You can now install the OuterImpact provided screws after using a drop of Loctite, being careful to maintain pressure on the adapter. We can finger tighten the screws initially, then use the torque driver at 15 inch-pounds. We will then replace the extractor. Go ahead and put that back in the slide. Next, insert the extractor retaining pin and spring. The pin is notched and the long end is toward the exterior of the firearm. Place this in part way, but do not use the flat end punch just yet. Now we can put the firing group retainer plate back in part way as well. Depress the plate and push it toward the top of the slide. While pushing the plate up, depress the retainer pin spring using the flat end punch. This will allow you to push the retainer plate all the way up. All of the components should now be locked in place and the OuterImpact adapter is installed. Now we will complete reassembling the slide by putting the barrel back in place, followed by the recoil spring, putting the slide back on the frame, and locking it to the rear. Let's raise the takedown lever, release the slide lock, and insert the magazine. Please remember, these same steps are followed for the micro red dot adapter as well, and both adapters are compatible with the M17, M18, X5 Legion, X Compact, and the X Carry. It is very important to note, if the weapon does not have a loaded chamber indicator, these particular adapters will not work. You will need a different variant, and we have those listed at OuterImpact.com along with the product instructions. Well, another job done. This plate fits so well in this fantastic firearm. Get your favorite optic on it and go to the range. Feel free to email us at support@OuterImpact.com with any questions. Have a great day.